everyone.
Hi.
How did you feel when you discovered that you got the part on the film?
I was super excited. I got a call from my agents and I sort of had a feeling the call was coming, so I had a bit of time to prepare, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I was told unofficially that I got the part, and then invited to a cafe with my agent who said that I didn't get the part. He said he wouldn't invite me here if that was the case, and then he told me that I didn't get the part, and I was really excited as well.
And now I have a question for Anna. So if you could, would you change something about the story of the book or the film?
There are a few things that now, 6 years later, when I reread the book, I would absolutely just take out. I wouldn't necessarily change it, I would just erase some of the things. Like the sheets, for example.
Okay.
Would never, when I even thinking about it, I'm like, it just is so too much. So there would be a couple, it's not a lot to be honest, because then it would take away from the story, but there are a couple of things that I would definitely not write now with the way I'm thinking. My thought process is a little bit differently.
Okay. And what was the most difficult thing to bring life to Harding and Tessa, in the personality?
There was nothing especially about her that I felt was really difficult to bring to life. And I know that sounds arrogant, but it's, yeah. There wasn't like an aspect of her personality that I found was difficult. It was more just the process of shooting the film and how we shot it that was something new for me to adjust to.
And you?
Not the accent, so that's very easy. I'd probably say, I've mentioned this before as well, the smiling aspect. I found a lot of his lines, the way I interpreted it, I wanted to do a sly smile, not a big one, but I was directed not to. And looking back, I completely agree with the direction. I think it plays really well.
Yeah, I agree. And about the other books like Nothing Less, do you think about bringing it to the big screens too?
I mean, Shane is the most perfect Landon, so that would be amazing to have a show or movie or something around Landon, and we've definitely had a lot of asks of it, but I just want to see how this goes. Yeah, he could totally carry it. So I hope so, because we have such an incredible actor as Landon that would be amazing, but we have to see how this goes first, but ideally, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited. And as a fan, sometimes I got a little frustrated because I wanted something to happen and it didn't happen at all. So when you were writing, you think you got frustrated too sometimes, or you were on the command?
No, I was always frustrated, to be honest. Like there were times like have you read all the books?
Yeah.
So like when in London, I already spoiled this for you, but I won't get too specific, but in London, particularly, I literally was just ready to like just keep Harding in London forever and be like, you deserve to be alone and sad forever. I was very frustrated. Like I would always be frustrated. My husband, I would literally be like pacing around and being like, ugh, and my husband would be like, but you're doing it. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I have no control. Like I just felt like I had no control over what any of these people in this book did, and I was crazy most of the time, to be honest. Like I felt like I was reading it and I would be typing it and be like, or the Steph thing. I was like, what? But then somehow I had subconsciously laid out all of these like hints without me even knowing I was doing it. Yes, and I would step back and be like, are you kidding me? Like it was literally like I was just as shocked as the people reading it, because I had no idea what these people were going to do.
I remember you saying when you were writing, sometimes it would just like flow out, and that's such an interesting thing for me to like.
Yeah, because then when you reread it, there's even with like the bet, I didn't know that was happening until almost halfway through writing it. But then when you reread it, since the beginning, there were so many hints to it that I'm like, subconsciously I must have known, but I didn't actually know. I do that with all of my books. I can't plan them. I can't like ever be like a traditional kind of writer, because I like to be surprised apparently.
But that's really nice, because that brings life to the book, That's really, really nice. Yeah. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank
I'm
you
very
so
happy
much.
for the interview. And that's
We hope
it.
you love the movie.
Thank you.
I'm gonna love it, really.
Thank you.
I'm sure of that. Thanks. And
Thanks a lot.